Hi, welcome to the Defining Wellness Authors Series put on by You Define Wellness. I'm Denise O'Malley, the founder of You Define Wellness. And one of the reasons why I've decided to put on this 3-day event is to introduce you to some of the authors that we have that are part of the You Define Wellness Network. And I am delighted today to introduce you to Jayne Sanders, who just launched her book, Twists, Turns, and Truths, The Life and Lines of a Master Scientific Hand Analyst. Jayne, welcome. Thank you for being a part of this today.
Thank you so much, Denise. I'm happy to be here. And yeah, woohoo, got my book done.
Well, I am so excited to hear more about this book. Let me show the cover of it because I think it's just absolutely cool that we have it there. And then I will come back and I'll share your contact information at the end. But you got to tell me, what has this journey been like for you?
It's been amazing. It started about a year ago, and I went to a Write Your Book in a Weekend retreat, and I knew this is what I wanted to write about, which is basically, it's a memoir.
Okay.
Memoir / self-help.
Okay.
So some of the more emotive up and down stories of my life and how characteristics of me involved, good and bad, show up in my hands because I'm a Master Scientific Hand Analyst.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's hand images, my hands, and I show people what the markings are and what they mean. So if a story sounds familiar, they can look and see if they have the marking and learn something about themselves. So there's some awareness opportunities there. And I just really think storytelling is a good way to teach and to share. And it's, readers will laugh and cry and wince and cheer because it's a roller coaster, like my life has been.
Right. So you're saying it's a memoir, so it's all about your own story. You're not sharing stories of clients necessarily out there, but it's is it how you use scientific hand analysis in your own personal life, or take us on a journey?
Yeah, it is. And it's not to teach people scientific hand analysis. People will learn some about it. Mm-hmm. It's more to make a difference and to help people, because that's what I'm supposed to be doing. So it's about inner wellness, since you define wellness.
Right.
And that's what hand analysis does. It identifies purpose and gifts and blind spots. So I am sharing. I've told people I should stamp TMI across the cover, because I'm being very open and very vulnerable about challenges that I've had and wins and accomplishments, so people can learn from my experience. And also, Denise, it's in a very conversational style. It's written the way I talk. So that means incomplete sentences, maybe a tiny little bad word here and there, maybe twice. So it's very, I've already had feedback. People say, I feel like you're sitting down talking to me and telling me these stories.
Oh, wonderful.
So that's what I wanted, was for people to feel like I was there telling them these stories.
Okay. So you knew that you've wanted to write a book for a long time.
This book. Yes.
The question I have for you is why?
Several reasons. So one, to help get exposure and spread the word about scientific hand analysis, because the vast majority of people have never heard of it and don't know the power of it or the accuracy. Mm-hmm. Two is to help people make a difference, increase awareness, which has got to be the first step. And in some cases, show them what to do to help work on those student paths if they have similar ones to what I have, and to understand themselves better. Mm-hmm. So those are the two main reasons that I did it.
So that's what you want them to take away from reading the book.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yep.
So you wrote this in one weekend?
Oh, no, well, the first draft, yes.
Okay.
First draft, but little did I know that's only the tiny beginning. It took another 6 months for me 5 months to rewrite it and rewrite it and rewrite it and organize it and put in the images. And there's even photos in here, because a few of the stories are about horses that I've had, because they're such an important part of my life. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, well, they need to see what those horses look like. But just a couple of the chapters. So there's all kinds of things in there, but
Mhm.
so it was a year from start to finish,
Mhm.
with the editing process and the design. Um,
And what was the biggest challenge that you faced in writing your book?
Fear of,
Really?
yeah, because there's one fear of people, my business contacts really, so coming out of several closets, really. Um, One being that even though my work is scientific
Mhm.
and very accurate, I'm spiritual
Mhm.
and in some cases metaphysical. There's a lot of people that don't know that about me
Mhm.
that are my peeps.
Mhm.
So that was kind of scary.
Mhm.
There are a couple of stories that are very raw and very vulnerable.
Mhm.
So revealing that was very scary, but I felt it was important to be authentic and say, now don't hold that back because that's going to help some people. So keep that in there. And another one that involves my family. So there's fear that I'm going to tick off my family, even
Mhm.
though I was as protective as I could be, whatever I could get past my editor. Because she kicked it back once and said, nope, if you're going to do this, you got to do it. I'm like, okay.
Was it cathartic for you?
It was.
Okay.
It was. Even after all the work I've done on these challenges that I've had,
Mhm.
it took it still to another level.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Yeah, when we become the teacher, we learn so much.
Well, yes, I've learned so much from hand analysis and from every one of my clients. And it's one of the things I love about it. Every one of my clients have made me in some way a better hand analyst, a better coach, a better person.
Mhm.
And the work does that. But man, writing this stuff in a book where it's just going out there, it's a very different feeling than just telling one person here and there. It's
Yeah.
like, uh-oh.
So you had the reaction from one or more people who said, "Wow, I just felt like we were having a
Mhm.
conversation reading this book." Has that been a universal feeling, or did you have
Mhm.
any backlash, especially from family, when you were approaching some of these subjects?
Well, until they read it.
Oh,
So, yeah,
okay.
we'll find out. It's my story, and it was
Yeah,
such a huge impact
yeah.
in my life that, again, I think I would have been omissive. Is that a word? If
Yeah.
I would have not included it. It belonged in this book.
Yeah.
So,
So, as you knew that we were having this conversation today, you probably had a little conversation going on in your own head as to what you wanted to share about your book. I'm making an assumption there that you had that going on because I know I would have been. What is it that you want to say and put out there about it?
I think people will find it. This is the feedback that I'm getting. Because scientific hand analysis fascinates people,
Yes, it does.
that aspect they'll find fascinating.
Mm,
And I think they will relate to a lot of my stories
okay.
and learn from it. I think it's a fast read. It's almost 200 pages, but because it is so conversational,
Yeah.
I had one client, I think he actually put it on Facebook, but from St. Louis, who ordered it the second it was popped up on Amazon. Um, or maybe he texted me. Anyway, said I was reading it. I was at the pool with some friends, and I got to the end of chapter 1, and I had to put it down because I started crying.
Oh my gosh.
It's emotive. I mean, it's.
Doesn't it just touch you at a
Oh,
very deep level when you hear
I
how
have
your book is?
goosebumps
Yeah.
when you say that. Yes, it does. I mean, it was a lot of work, and I'm all about making a difference and helping people. So when I really hit somebody in the heart
Yeah.
in a positive way, then I know I'm on the right track. And it's so fulfilling, Denise.
Oh,
Yes.
oh, awesome. So let's talk a little bit about scientific hand analysis because I know that we do have some time available here. Um, and you're right. I think it's something that fascinates a lot of people. It's the same
Mm-hmm.
way. I would put it almost in a category, not to categorize you, but I'm going to do it anyways. handwriting analysis. You know, the fact that personality traits and tendencies and things that we think are private personality traits can come out and be read through that which we were born with in our hands. And so it's let's talk a little bit about that. But I think I'm most interested in what attracted you to it.
I was looking for my purpose. I'm corporate MBA background and had 3 different careers and would like them for the first few years and then hit a wall of being bored and unfulfilled and knowing I was supposed to be doing something else but could not figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And other things didn't help me. You know, career coaching, other assessments, and I was literally Googling, how do I find my life purpose? I just knew that's what I was missing. And eventually ran across a headline for a teleseminar, and it said, discover your innate life purpose. So I clicked on it, and the first words I saw were hand analysis. And I'm like, oh, come on. I'm serious here. You know, I thought it was about palm reading. I really want to know my purpose. And then I saw the word scientific. Mm-hmm. So that one word helped.
Validate it?
Yeah, it helped me put aside my anal MBA skepticism so I could listen to the teleseminar, and it sounded pretty credible. And I really wanted my purpose. So I got a hand analysis, and long story short, it changed my life. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I really decided I wanted to help people feel that way. So it's similar to handwriting in that it does give you personality and characteristics and all that, but it gives you your innate life purpose, which handwriting analysis doesn't do.
No, absolutely.
It's kind of freaky how accurate hand analysis is, enough so that Forbes wrote an article about it.
You know, I remember you saying that one time, and it's just validation for this field of study, and that, you know, these are what we are born with. And didn't you say what they can change?
They can. So we get information from everything. The fingerprints, of course, won't change, or the FBI would be in deep doo-doo, right? So, so the fingerprints won't change, and we get a lot of information, the core of who you are and what you're meant to do on the planet from fingerprints, but everything else in your hands can change. So the lines, that actually even the shape of your hand can change, where your fingers are set on the palm. I mean, the major lines aren't going to all of a sudden make a U-turn, but things that you probably wouldn't notice, but I would notice, definitely change in the hands.
So let's take this back to your book. So you have a roadmap in your hands,
a blueprint,
life purpose. How did you integrate that into your stories?
By saying, okay, here's the story. Mm-hmm. Here are the characteristics of me involved that caused this issue or contributed to it or helped with it, that led me to this or through this. And here's how they show up in my hands. So I literally have images of my handprints and different markings pointed out so that you can look and see, I have that same marking. Oh, so that's what that means. Cool. And here's the student path of it, which is the underside of it, the shadow side, if you want to call that. So now I know what to do when I notice that in my life. I know where to take action.
Wow.
I know. I'm really proud of it. And of course, as you know, I love scientific hand analysis. It's just so deep and profound, and the work is just, I didn't create it. I just do it.
Yeah, I'm fascinated by it. And I mean, I really want to sit down and learn it one of these days and take that time, but, I'll never be at your level, but it's just intriguing to me, what you can learn.
It's amazing. Yes. And intriguing is a good word. And yeah, I am. I mean, just for people watching this, I'm level 4. I'm a master, which means I teach it now.
Yeah.
You could learn everything you needed to learn in a year.
I have to work on that.
Yeah. Pretty intense year because everything means something. So every little tiny thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So your book just debuted last week?
The launch party was a week ago Monday.
Okay.
No, it was so fun.
And where can somebody find your book?
On Amazon.
Yay. Is it as a downloadable on an ebook, or is it the hard copy?
Not yet. It will be within a few weeks. I'll do an audible version eventually.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, the gurus in the publishing business say just wait before you put the ebook up. I mean, somebody can go to my website as well, but it just takes you to the Amazon link.
So is this your first book?
No, I wrote one about 17 years ago when I was a professional speaker, a business book on gender communication differences.
So it's a whole lot different than it was 17 years ago, I have no doubt.
Holy moly, yes.
Yeah. So you had to surround yourself with the experts for the semantics of getting it published. A publisher, coach, perhaps, the art, everything.
A publishing consultant. I did self-publish. Most people do. It's the recommended way.
Yes.
Do not try this at home alone without help. I'm still having trouble with Amazon with the page because it's messed up and they won't fix it. But, anyway.
Yes. Well, everyone, if you're watching this, get a coach. Really.
Yeah. Publishing consultant. Yep.
I self-published without a coach, but I had no intention of going on Amazon. It simply was a book for workshops and webinars, although it can go on Amazon one of these days. It just needs more tweaking, and for that I need to hire a coach to come in and do it, and I'm just not motivated to do it at this point in time. And I will, you need a coach.
Yeah.
You need someone to guide you through it, because I had to learn. I spent so much time learning what somebody could have done for me.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, and mine connected me to my development editor, to my copy editor, to my designer. You know,
they already have the team in place. All you have to do is just show up with the copy.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. Anything else you want to add to this? We've covered an awful lot.
I just want to say that I'm so honored and blessed by the response and by the huge number of people, my friends and clients that showed up to help me celebrate at my launch party. It's just been a lovely experience and validation of my work and the relationships that I create. So it's just, I really recommend, if somebody's got a book inside of them, they got to get it out.
Got to get it out. And this is, I'm showing your book again. If you're watching this video, go buy it. And if you want to work with Jayne, who does scientific hand analysis, this is what she does for a living, folks, reach out to her. Here's her phone number and her website. Go check it out. Contact her. I think you will find a ton of information that you'll find useful and valuable in your life. And I wholeheartedly recommend reaching out to her to see how she can work with you. That being said, Jayne, thank you very much for being with me today and chatting with your book. I'm going to go out and buy it.
Well,
yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I think you love it, and I appreciate this opportunity. Always good to see you, Denise.
As well, it's good to see you. And for those who are watching this on YouTube, hey, go over to the You Define Wellness channel, like us over there, follow us over there so that you can hear about all the other videos that we have coming out. We literally have over 6 or 7 dozen videos from health and wellness experts on our channel and on our website at youdefinewellness.com to help you as you're on your wellness path and your journey. And Jayne's will be added to that extensive library. So we are a resource for you.
Oh, you're such a rock star, Denise. You guys should check out You Define Wellness in any event because of the this huge, I don't even know what to call it.
It is amazing how big it's grown. And we're having a lot of fun, and just, if nothing else, leading people to find other paths to on their healing journey that are not covered by insurance, and that's what we're all about. So, all right, thank you, everyone.